Ladies, gentlemen and drummers of all ages, please put your hands together for the host of the Mike Dolbear Drum Show, Mr. Mike Dolbear.
Thank you very much, and good evening to the next Mike Dolbear web show, the show about drums, and what great guests I've got today. So we've got Pete Ray Biggin, Pen Thompson and Mike Sturgis. And my co-presenter, Jill. So, Pete, let's start with you.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good.
You've been very busy recently by the looks of it.
We've got look at my beard.
Well, not by the beard, but this new album.
Yeah, it's done.
So how have you fitted in doing a new album while you've been out on the road constantly with Level 42? And this is your own solo project, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. That's the hardest thing when when you're on the road and you sort of on the road, you're in the live mentality, and actually getting back home to put yourself back in the studio head, it takes a bit of time. So then when you get back in the studio head and everything's rolling amazing, and then you got a gig or some tour, it just breaks it up. So it's took over 3 years to make.
Has it?
Yeah.
And you've financed this yourself.
I have, yeah.
It's your own band. So what's the difference between a hired hand, i.e. when you've been out with Mark Ronson or Level 42, and having your own band?
Well, you just get to tell people that they're wrong.
Okay.
I started playing with Amy in 2007. That was my first big gig. I did the Mark Ronson thing, and I thought the concept what Mark Ronson was doing was fantastic, because he was the artist, but then he'd feature all these other artists. So it was just a bit different, and he was doing funk, and I just thought, man. And then after that, I joined Incognito. I did some stuff with Level. I played with Chaka Khan. I was just like, what do you think? What do you do when you play with your heroes, man? You got to do something yourself. And I saw that kind of the pop thing, and a lot of musicians fighting for pop gigs, and I just thought this is quite tough. So I just wanted to start my own project, and it's got some of the best singers and musicians in the country right now in it. So.
Well, it's a great album.
Thank you.
Go and buy it. It's a great album. I want to talk about Amy Winehouse. Obviously, you were friends with Amy as well.
We was
I think
good
you
mates.
started as mates before. How did that gig come about?
Well, I used to be in a band called Rain, which is like an original soul band. I first moved from Sheffield to London to be in this band, and we had like a regular Sunday night at a place called the Sugar Hut. And this girl used to come down with some of her friends, and there was one guy in the band who was dating one of her friends. So, we used to just hang out afterwards and chill after the gig. And I was like, so what do you do, Amy? And she was just like, I'm a singer-songwriter. So cool. All right, cool. A week went past, put Jules Holland on, and there she is. And I'm going, hang on a minute, that's that bird from the other night. So when I saw her like a couple of weeks later, I was like, mate, seriously, you're just a singer? Oh no, she was so humble. And then it just came up. A few years later, I did a gig with Dale Davis, just a function gig, and he was just like, oh, Amy, do you want to do this mime we've got next week? I was like, yeah, cool. So that was it. I was in then, and it started from there. Yeah,
and you stayed with her, obviously.
I stayed for about 6 months, but then I got Stuart Zender called me, the bass player from Jamiroquai, old guy, and not old guy, old bass player, and he said, Mark Ronson gig's coming up. Do you fancy doing it? And I was like, yeah, cool. So it just all sort of started. But Amy was still involved with the Bronson thing.
Yeah, well, I remember seeing the Brits.
Yeah, that's right.
You were all booted and suited. I think you were the first guys I saw do it, all booted and suited.
I was so pulling my pants, because that was my first
And it was live, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was live. And it was all down to me. Yeah. The first fill was on me, so it's quite,
Yeah. Cool. Ben Thompson, how are you,
Hello,
Ben?
Mike. I'm doing good.
So my fellow Brightonian.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, but we didn't wear Brighton Hove Albion shirts today.
I know, I forgot those, but I did bring you something from Brighton.
You did? Is it a seagull poo?
No, it's not a seagull poo, but it is a little gift from the Brighton and Hove area. Oh. Because it was recently a celebration of your day of birth.
Oh, look at this. It was my birthday this week, look, and so I've got some Brighton Hove. I'm going to eat these, I can't, can I?
Of course you can. Well, I bought 4, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, we've got you.
Well, look, Jill, look what I got. Anyway.
I've got lemon cake out there.
Yeah.
So Ben, obviously Two Door Cinema Club.
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit. You were at BIM in Brighton.
I was.
And you left BIM at Brighton and went straight into Two Door Cinema Club.
Yeah, exactly. I started BIM when I was 16. I did a year there doing the diploma course and kind of realised that, I want to do this for a living. So I kind of pestered the right tutors at the right time, I think, and persuaded, obviously being 16, it was quite hard to persuade them to kind of introduce me to someone in the industry that can kind of, you know, give me a stepping stone to get things going. But at the end of my first year there, I finally got the head of drums there at the time to intro me to his agent. And she introed me to the Two-Door guys. I went up to London for an audition. I think I was one of 20 drummers. And they called me back the next day, and we hit the studio for a week, and then it was 300 plus shows a year, 6 years solid.
Yeah. So had you finished studying at college? Or
I'd actually already paid for my parents kindly paid for my second year at BIM, which I couldn't do.
Yeah.
So I literally just hit, like I said, we weren't expecting it to be as busy as it was, but it was literally, you know, I was home for Christmas for 2 days a year, and that was it.
Yeah, because we both actually worked with the singer, obviously, on the opening ceremony of the Olympics.
Exactly, yeah.
So what's happening with Two-Door at the moment then?
You know, we've been like solid. I've been playing for the guy solidly for 6 years, pretty much no time off whatsoever. So the guys are taking a year off to write their new album, and then, you know, when it's all done and ready, we're going to hit the road again, I'm sure. Right.
So the unfortunate thing about being the hired hand, as you know, we were just saying there, is that when the band decides to take a little bit of time out, they don't still pay you.
No.
So, and I know you're just about to go out with this new artist, Hudson Mohawke.
Hudson Mohawke, yeah.
Wow.
He's actually,
has he got a mohawk?
No, he doesn't.
Okay,
He's not what you would expect to look like. But he's actually known as a producer. He's just finished producing some stuff with Kanye West and Drake. You know, that kind of hip hop dance scene over there, and it's something really exciting for me as a player, because obviously, you know, Two-Door's obviously much more like a live band feel, whereas with this it's much more of like a dance hip hop act, and I'm actually kind of semi-MDing it for the first time, like my first kind of like proper MD gig. So it's quite nice to kind of go from a full live drum kit to adding some more, you know, hybrid drums, some electronics and stuff, and different crazy samples.
When does that start?
I mean, rehearsals are about to kick off for a couple of weeks, and then we're straight over to America and then into festivals.
So that's it. 6 years later, we'll get you back on the show.
Exactly, yeah.
Sounds good.
So, yeah,
great. Mike Sturgis.
Hello.
So, Mike, you started out like all of us as out there touring. You were with Aha and Asia, etc., etc. And then you went into the education, okay? Head of drums at, the first time I met you was at ACM in Guildford.
Correct.
I mean, what made you make that move?
That transition?
Yeah.
I didn't plan it at all. I was at the University of Miami studying, which was a fantastic time. Loved it there, learned a lot, met some great people, got some gigs out of it, which took me over to England. That's kind of my story in a nutshell, how I got over here. But I didn't plan on teaching at all. Just wanted to play, just wanted to be a session guy or join a band. And I think it comes back to one of those things that you mentioned, so you're between tours, you know, what do you do? And one of the guys I'd been working with at the time said, look, you should really just go talk to these people I know. This place called the Musicians Institute in London. This is going back a while, back mid-'80s. And I really think, you know, it would work out for you. So he pretty much twisted my arm, and I went down there and met some of the people. They were great, really nice, and said, really would like you to get involved. And that's how it started. I just started writing my own lessons and doing transcriptions, and you know, I enjoyed working with students. And I just found I had an affinity for it, really, and I just really liked it. Just progressed from there.
Yeah, because you've obviously went from ACM to the Institute, and a project that you're involved with now, which I'm actually fascinated with, is Dime.
Yes.
Which I think was the same people that set up BIM in Brighton.
Correct.
And now you can get a diploma or a higher diploma online.
Well, it's a BA Honours, in fact.
Okay, so explain a little bit how that works.
Yeah, well, I should probably just mention DIME stands for, if you've never heard of it, Detroit Institute of Music Education. Okay. So that's a random link as well. So
why Detroit?
Yeah, why Detroit? So there's kind of two sides to the school, really. There's the campus provision in Detroit. Fantastic brand new facility over there. Just opened up in September, so really exciting. Great environment to work in, great legacy, heritage, you know, obviously to Detroit as a music city.
Yeah, for those that don't know, it's obviously where Motown came out of.
And a lot of rock guys and techno as well. So it's got a fantastic history. But on top of that, there's Dime Online. So as the name would infer, you can actually do a degree entirely online. And those degrees are in partnership with Falmouth University. So you can do a degree in performance, songwriting, or music business at Dime Online.
Great. So Jill wants to get into playing the drums. So this is where she can do it, can't she? She can now do it online with Dime.
She could.
You enjoyed that, didn't you? The rhyme.
The rhyming or the...
Speak to me later. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Well, Jill.
Right, so now we're going to go to our regular segment each show with our drum tech to the stars. This is Yard's Yard.
Come on, Yard, what you got for us?
Hi, Mike and Jill. You're back in Yard's Yard for a little session about choosing cymbals. Right, the first thing is, I don't choose cymbals for the artist. They do that side of it because everyone has their own personal preferences. So what I might like, they might hate. So they choose their cymbals. They know exactly what they want and why. So I leave them to that side of things. If they ask my opinion, then I tell them. But in general, I keep my head down and well out of the way. So basically, with my job, they turn up with their cymbals and I put them on the stands, and that's as far as we go. And just from working with people who know what they're doing, I have a selection in my head of what I would use for different sessions, but they've done all the hard work by actually picking them out for me, and I do all the easy work by memorising them and pretending it's all my own work. So that's how I stay in work, funny enough. The next thing is, despite what anyone says, you cannot buy cymbals without hearing them. Ordering them online may be nice and easy, waiting for the box to turn up the next morning, but you could be very, very disappointed. Over the years, I've worked for many top name artists who have got deals. They never pay for cymbals because they're good clients and they promote a lot of stuff, but they always go and personally pick out what they want from the factory. And Zildjian is the top name that I mainly work with, and you're welcome to visit their factory. They'll spend time with you while you choose. They've got no end of cymbals lying around that you can go around and tap round all day long if you want, but you can go through 50 cymbals before you find one that you like, just because everyone has different preferences. So the artist does it, and I assume that any drummer who really wants what they want should go to a shop and try them out, because no matter if it's 10 cymbals of the same type, Ks, As, whatever, if you hit them all, they will all sound different. It's not something that you can package and sell as a certain sound. You have to go and listen to them, and it's essential to have a great sounding bell. And you just need to go and listen, just so you pick out exactly what you want and why you want it. And if you buy blind, you're going to spend a lot of money, keep sending stuff back or selling it on and losing money. So take the time out, go to your local store or a store you're choosing and spend all day if you need to. But once you've got your set, that's all you need to buy. You just buy them once and then replace them, but still go back and pick out by hand and by ear what you want, and you'll save yourself so much grief. And that's Yard's Yard on cymbals.
Right, so while Mike's got his buns out and enjoys that, we're going to now go to the stick for the next segment. So there's two kits that the stick is going to play. I'm going to give you a bit of information about it. He's going to play him, and then we're going to see which one you
No
like
cheating, boys. You've got to face forward.
Yeah, you've got to face forward.
Sorry, oh, we can't look back.
So kit A, this is not including the snare drum. The sizes are a 20-inch bass drum, 10 and 12-inch mounted toms, and a 16-inch floor tom. The shells are made of a 6-ply North American maple with no reinforcement rings, and they have a natural lacquered finish. All of the toms have suspension mounts, and the kit has a clear heads on the top and bottom. The kit B, not including the snare drum again, sizes include a 20-inch bass drum, 10 and 12-inch mounted toms, and a 16-inch floor tom. The shells are made from maple, poplar, and maple combination, and are 3-ply with 4-ply reinforcement rings. The kit has a wrap finish, And the 10 and 12 inch toms have suspension mounts, but the floor tom does not. The kit is coated heads on the top and clear heads on the bottom. So I'm going to get the stick to play each kit, and then we'll...
Don't judge him when he's playing, guys, okay?
Yeah. When you're ready? So that was kit 1. This is kit 2. Right. So, which one did you prefer the sound of, the first one or the second one?
Second one for me.
Why?
Second one?
I just think it sounds fat. It sounds amazing.
I thought this second one was so much louder.
Yeah, that's probably why I liked it.
Right.
Which one?
I actually like the first one.
Yeah, I like the first one.
Oh no.
I do. Yeah, I got to say.
I mean, I've got to say that I think they both sounded great. You know, I was influenced by the snare a little bit. You know, it's slightly
I think
different
the first
snare
one had
tuning.
like a Bonham. It sort of had
Exactly.
Bonham sound.
Yeah. It just had more low end, just that fatness.
Tom sounded fat as well.
Yeah. It did. That'd be my.
Come on, man.
my
You like
my-
I'm gonna go now, guys. Thanks so much.
What about the audience?
So which one did the audience prefer, the kit A or kit B? Kit A, raise your hands. Ooh, 3. Kit B.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Stanley, mate.
kit A,
Which is this one
which
over
is
here.
the kit is a Sucker Almighty set, which has a retail price of £1,999, and kit B, which is the one, is the Sucker Trilogy, which retails at about £2,700.
Well, so this one's £800 more than this one.
Yeah.
That's why, because you're cheapskate. And you
Exactly.
Like, you know.
Cheaper than louder, mate.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that.
I'm glad we all didn't agree though. It would be boring if we all agreed.
Exactly. We're now going to go over to our regular feature. And Brett, what have you got for us today? Please show us your wares.
Hey everyone, I'm Brent Barnett from Gibraltar Hardware's Brent's Hang, and I'm here with Brian Frasier Moore.
What's up?
And Mike, thank you so much for having us on your show. Dude, I'm tired, in case you haven't noticed, it's dark out here, and we've been working all day on building Brian's new rack for the Madonna tour. Yeah. I'm tired, what about you?
Yeah, I'm beat in. As you can see, this is my tired smile.
Let's talk about the rack that we did today. So what was it that kind of inspired the design?
Well, I remember when we first were talking about this, we talked about something low profile. That was the one thing that me, you, and JR were in sync with. And then we just got here, and it was, you brought a whole bunch of stuff, and
the kitchen sink.
Yeah, and then we just threw some ideas back and forth. To be honest, it just kind of came about, you know, just trying different things. And what about this? That was the great part about having all of us together, is the professionalism and the expertise put into it. I mean, I love the outcome of it. It's crazy, it's slick.
I mean, dude, like the design that we did with all the legs in the front just kind of coming up, and that kind of holding all of your toms, and then the 2 tiers that go from the outside to the inside. I mean, I've never built anything like this before.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like this before.
It's pretty groundbreaking, man. I don't know if they're gonna be ready for this, man.
What do you think? What do you think the boss is gonna think about this?
I think that's just my personal opinion, but I think she's gonna love it. I mean, the design is great. Everything's looking good. It's tight. It's interesting. It's beautiful. So I'm feeling really confident in what we did today.
Now, a lot of racks you've done in the past, you've had a bar over the bass drum, right? And
This
so
is the first time.
Yeah, and
the first time ever.
what made you want to kind of veer away from having a bar over the bass drum?
You know, it's crazy because here's a transition that I went through from the Madonna rack, whimsical, right, to the more conservative suit and tie, and that. I think a lot of the conservative is still on me. I think I like it. You know, I'm getting older, so I think the conservative is on me. So just with the conservative slickness, the sleek of it. So I'm fine with not having any bar in the front because it's clean. You know, I'm in my cleanliness stage. So I think that's inspiring a lot of it, man. If we can do away with it and it's going to look different and great the way it does, then I think we're going to win.
Dude, I mean, like, we literally just built 2 side racks, and they're designed way different than I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
So literally all JR has to do is just pick one side rack up, move it off the stage, and pick the other side rack up, move it off the stage.
Pretty much.
I mean, he doesn't have to break anything into different pieces. I mean, he can if he wants to, but, you know, it's pretty much just ready to just go with one person moving 2 things.
Yeah, and that's the great part about it. That's what I really wanted. You know, besides it being low profile, I wanted it just to be straight to the point. You know, a different design as we accomplish here, but just straight to the point and breaking it down and putting it together and moving it around and things like that. And it's super sturdy, man. That's the winner. So I think we did. I think we killed it.
Dude, you got 2 full kits on this setup that we fit on an 8x8 riser.
They said we couldn't do it, man. They said we couldn't do it.
Gibraltar found a way.
They said we couldn't do it. Yeah, but it's great, man. I'm loving the outcome of it. Thank you. Like I said, thank everyone, man, for really pulling together. You,
Absolutely,
JR,
man.
Dennis. This was an all-day project. My wife is over there, and she's okay with everything. Thank the Lord.
We at least cleaned some of the garage out, right?
Right, exactly. But no, this is great. We're going to kill with this. I can't wait. Can't wait till everyone sees it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to see it out on the road.
Yes, me either.
Today was awesome. Thank you so
great,
much.
Man. Thank you for having me, brother.
Oh, absolutely, man. This was a lot of fun. And I'm going to get out of your hair here because I know you're exhausted. I'm exhausted. And Mike, thank you so much again for having us on the show.
Thank you, man.
And stick around for next time. You'll actually see the rack build, and it's going to be light outside.
Okay, excellent. Great little feature. Really enjoyed that. Okay, guys, this is where we come to the show and tell, which seems to be all the drummers are having a little bit of fun with this at the moment. So by the looks on your faces, I'm not too sure what to expect. So let's start with Pete. Pete, what have you got for show and tell?
My tattoos.
Cool.
You know, I put a lot of thought into this, if you hadn't noticed.
Yeah, you did. How long ago did you start this process?
I started it last night. It's come out all right, hasn't it? It's like, no, basically what happened is I always wanted tattoos, and I was on holiday in Thailand. And do you remember the time when we had that ash cloud?
Yes.
And it shut all airspace, you know, we couldn't get in anywhere.
You had all your tattoos done.
Yeah, well, that's it. They said, oh, you're going to have to stay in Thailand for another 3 weeks. So I went, oh, God, really? So what am I going to do? So I found one and had the tattoos done.
So, but they're quite, especially
musical.
You've got this drum groove that's going on here. What's this?
This is, you know what? This is like kind of a groove that I've played since I was a kid, and I played it on one of the Incognito records. So I just thought, you know what? I was just trying to think, how could it be cool? And I'm like 80 years old, and my grandkids go to me, Granddad, what's this? And I said, that's what it was like in my day. And they're just going to go, do you know what I mean? It's like my granddad going, yes. Yeah, it's like,
yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So anyway, that was my idea. So there's a bit of time, but it's all kind of,
it's all drum related.
It's all related to music. Like this is the Big Ben. Both hands are on 4/4. It's timekeeper. I'm a timekeeper. I've got the world in my hands here. I've got. You want to see this?
Yeah, let's see it. Come on.
Okay. Strip off
as long as it just stops there, okay?
You want to see some booty? Time to see some ass right now. Okay, so this is my level 42 kit.
Okay. Yeah,
and what I did, I found a sexy image of a woman with a big butt, and I managed to get her bending over the drums with a cap on and some wings, angel wings. So it's kind of like, and plus if I start working out, her butt gets really big.
Oh, I see.
So
very good.
Yeah. So, but it's all sort of related, and there's a little barcode here. If you do that in Tesco's, you get 6 bananas for £1. This is quite cool as well.
And the other great thing about this is now that every time you do the Incognito gig, you always know the pattern. It's great.
Put it with my left hand. Yeah. So that's me.
There you go. Excellent. Thank you very much.
And also this one. All that we are is a result of what we have thought, which I thought was quite a positive thing to write on my arm.
Well, I've learnt from this. I'm not going to get stuck in Thailand.
Hey, it's not a bad thing, man.
Ben. What have you got for us?
Mine is fan related.
Okay.
I always find whenever, you know, with a two-door, obviously, when we play kind of all over the world, we have the most amazing fans, and they always super kind, give sometimes crazy, and sometimes really cool and thoughtful gifts. I just wanted to bring this along. These are actually little cookies. When we went to Japan, there was a girl waiting at the airport that had been there waiting for 3 days, everyone. No joke. She was at the airport for 3 days.
Well, fresh cookies, were they?
No. I actually tried one. They were lovely. Yeah, no. As soon as we turned up, she kind of handed me these. Bless her. She could hardly walk. She'd literally been awake, you know, because obviously they don't know when we're landing exactly. But they've got the exact dates that we were playing printed on the cookies, and I thought it was just a really cool little thing that I wanted to bring along. I've got so many little gifts, but I thought that was one that stood out.
Excellent.
Because I don't know how they managed to print the name and the stuff on a cookie, but it blew my mind.
Very good.
So I thought I'd bring it along.
Well done. Mike, top that.
I can't, but I'll take you on a little trip to Nerdsville. When I was a younger man, well, about 10, I used to collect comic books, specifically Marvel, and I liked all of the guys that they had: Thor, Iron Man, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, but my favorite guy was Spider-Man. So I collected Spider-Man comics, I bought a few collectors, and I lost them all over the years, but traveling from the States, coming over here, moving houses, etc. But I hung on to one, and this is the 50-year anniversary of this lovely Spider-Man annual.
Nice.
It's still sealed as well. You haven't opened it?
Yeah, you can't touch it.
Okay.
Oh, it's never been opened.
No, you mustn't look at it.
I nearly opened
it.
No, you get it in the bag, and you know
it stays in the bag.
I have just treated myself a couple of times and taken it out, but it's got to stay pristine.
So when your son was younger, did he never go, Dad, can I just look at this magazine, please?
Nah, he kept that in a safe place. But I do say to him, son, one day all this will be yours.
Yeah, exactly. I bet he can't wait for it.
He's pretty excited. That's something to look forward to.
Well, very good. Thank you again for some great shows and tells. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
Ready? Right, so the first thing in the news this week is The Art of Science of Groove by Benny Grab. This was actually done by crowdfunding and has finally been released for your enjoyment and pleasure.
And Benny will be a guest on the show coming up as well.
Yep, so hopefully he'll give us more on what
copies.
Copies. I was going to say explain how it came about and everything else, but if you want to say copies, we can go with that. Also, Joni Mitchell obviously has gone to hospital in intensive care after a fall, so we wish her a very speedy recovery. We also have B.B. King, the great blues guitarist, has actually just been released from hospital as well. He's about 78 years old and still going, which is great to hear. And also earlier this month was the 100th, it was Billie Holiday's 100th birthday, if she was still alive today. There were a lot of stuff about it in the press and on radio and everything else, and reminiscing about how she was in her life and her great music. But I thought I'd ask you guys, who is it, dead or alive, you would love to play with? Like, who is the ultimate person to play? Should I start with Mike?
Well, I think probably the person that was the most significant at the time was probably Elvis Presley, because I'm that old. I've still actually got, and one day my children can have this as well, Mike, so we're together. I've got the newspaper cuttings, the front page of the day that Elvis Presley died. I went up to the local newsagents and I bought all the newspapers. So my daughter's in the audience, and I bet she's so excited that one day she too can have those. So Elvis Presley.
Nice.
Pete?
Well, I'm just gonna say the people who are not here, because the people who are here, you never know. But Donny Hathaway, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Jaco Pastorius, Michael Jackson. I mean, it's never.
I'm with you on Jackson. That would be an amazing gig.
It's a lot. But yeah.
So is that yours, Michael Jackson, I guess?
Don't copy me.
Yeah.
You can't now. You picked all of them.
Yeah,
I'll give you an alive and a dead. An alive would probably have to be Stevie Wonder.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would just be a killer gig, man.
Sting.
Pardon?
Sting.
Yeah, not as much though.
Okay.
Not as much as Stevie, I don't think. But dead, I'd probably have to be someone like Marvin Gaye, like an old classic.
Yeah. Cool. Mike, Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, no, that would be good. I think the first guy who comes to mind would be Miles Davis.
Oh, I'm with you on that one.
Good shot. I mean, he's just, you know, just the cat.
Yeah,
you know?
mine suck now.
He's the cat.
See, I'm with you. I'd be Miles Davis.
I mean, I would, if I'm getting greedy, Coltrane, you know, or how about James Brown? You know, in his
James Brown.
you
that.
You didn't even know he was dead, did you?
I thought he was still alive.
That's Robbie Coltrane, not John. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
Excellent. Well done. Okay, well, we come to this section where we have some use them or lose them. So this section, I'm going to show you a couple of items that have been sent in, and you could let me know whether it be something you'd put in your gig bag or on tour, or whether you would chuck them in the bin. So the first item I have was from a previous guest, Steve Smith. He's already brought out a few of the Tyler ones, and this is the third one. Okay, so Pete, try them, see what you think. But mind my cakes, okay?
Yeah, you might want to move them.
Yeah,
I think it'll be much more fun if I play on your cakes. No! Yeah, lose them.
Lose them. Yeah. Lose them or use them? Lose them.
Lose them. Okay. Use them, then lose them.
Okay.
If I'm totally honest, I wouldn't have any use for them personally.
Right.
But I definitely prefer them to, you know, the rods.
Yeah.
I think they feel nicer if I was to have to use a stick like this. But overall, I don't think I would use them personally.
Okay.
Well, I think anything that Steve Smith uses is good enough for me.
Right, so you're keeping them.
I'd like to try them.
Okay.
But they're a bit odd to play initially.
Okay, well this next item here isn't a snare drum. Would you use it or lose it? But I've only got one drumstick left now because Pete's thrown the other one on the floor. Okay, is this Remo silent stroke head. So you can use it for obviously practicing, or you can use it for electronics. But again, what would you think?
Well, I think it's good for the electrical side of the drummings, because the Remo, the Roland have this sort of thing, which I think is fantastic. But I don't know for practicing, because that noise is going to piss your neighbours off, isn't it? You know. So
I rim shot when I play. I rim shot quite a lot as well, and I think that would probably make it.
Especially when you're practicing, because you really want to, you know, actually. I mean, I suppose there's a good use for it. People can put this to good use, I think. But for me, you know, I've got a studio, so I can practice loud. So I kind of probably never used it.
Right.
You know.
Ben?
You see, I had to go on the full kit version of this
at
the London Drum Show, and it did feel great. The positive of it is that it's obviously quieter than a real kit, and it does, on the full kit, it does feel like a real drum kit, to be fair. Much more so than, in my opinion, than an electric kit. So at home, it is really great, but it is still quite noisy when you're rim shotting, and yeah, like you're about.
Sorry, I just wanted to hear what the snares on that. You know what that
I'd like to hear what it records like.
Yeah.
It's mad recording thing.
I think if you wanted to drum on the bus, on the tour bus, or something like that.
They're gonna love that.
Yeah, but it's better than I have brought a snare drum on the tour bus before.
Really?
Yeah.
And you want to know why that Two-Door Cinema are taking a year?
I know, yeah.
Sorry,
they've still got the migraines.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, and I think, you know, for some purposes, to have a setup like that, you just bring it out and it's quiet if you need that. But equally, if you need, you know, quiet practice, you can get sound off pads. You can whip those off and on really, really quickly, rather than having to take the entire head off. But you know, I think it does what it says on the tin. You know, so in that sense, it's good.
Okay.
Have they actually been made for drums, or have they been made for Roland? Or are they just?
I definitely know they've been made for drums. Whether they make them originally for Roland, I don't know. I think Remo do make the heads for Roland anyway, but this has now gone out live, so if I was wrong, I'm going to be. So maybe it's just a crossover. But anyway, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Good luck with the new album. Good luck with the drum app that you've got out as well, Drum Gym by Mike Sturgis.
Thanks very much.
Good luck with your Mohawke, and I hope that goes down well. And we look forward to seeing you. So thank you very much for everybody, and we'll see you next time. So thank you very much. I'm now going to eat my cake.